What's going on, y'all? See, look, I'm so sorry for this glare that's gonna be popping up. Bam, bam. Okay, it is such a beautiful ass. Oh my god, oh my god. Like, I feel sorry for anybody who's had a rough winter because this winter for Chicago and for it being Chicago, you know what I'm saying? Chicago will get some cold ass winter like bitch. We'll be negative degrees for damn near a month and a half, okay, of winter. Okay, and then don't go up for the next half a month plus a couple of more days, don't go up until the 20s, all right? And then we'll start getting to the 30s and the 40s towards the end. Bitch, we ain't really had that much of a winter this winter. Y'all remember winter didn't really start until after goddamn Christmas came, okay? Especially up here in North, well, in the Midwest, I say, for Chicago. And then all of a sudden the winter wanted to get cold and shit, and it still really wasn't that cold. I have yet to wear a winter jacket, a winter coat. I've been wearing a fucking jacket this whole winter, all year round. Goddamn, bitch. I mean, we had one snowfall, but that shit melted in like 2 days. Then we had a ice storm because it got real cold and then it started raining. No, it got warm, then it started raining, and then it froze over. Bullshit. That melted in 2 days too. And that was basically it that we had. Okay, I was like, look at this. And now it's been for the past week or so. It's like 64 degrees outside right now. Okay. Let me shut the fuck up because it's going back down to the 40s. You know what I'm saying? But we've been having damn near 7-degree weather outside. I've been out here without a jacket on, doing my exercise. Bitch, I hope I don't. If I get sick, y'all know exactly why. Because bitch, you ain't have a coat on. You thinking that it ain't my fault that it didn't skip to spring already. Shit. No respect. But anyway, I hope you guys are having such a good day. I honestly, this week, like, the weather has made my mood. I mean, especially today, like, I was at work. I really wasn't annoyed at work. I mean, I had a whole bunch of shit to do, and I was literally on my feet damn near all day. Probably had like 30 minutes sitting down, bitch. You know, I must have sweated off like 5 pounds because it was just so much that I had to do. I was like, where the fuck all this shit come from? But I wasn't mad about it. I wasn't mad about it. I'm sitting here like, it's the sun just shining bright through all this shit, and I'm just here for it. It's just a beautiful day. How can you be so pissed off at a day like this? Like, come on. God make days like this to lighten up your day, to make you smile like this. So let's do that. All right. Um, First of all, before we want to get into the fuck shit, okay, because I don't know how long this video is going to be. Y'all already know what the majority of this video is going to be about, Chris Brown, but we'll get to that later. Let's get the small stuff out the way. Congratulations are in order to um, Lauryn Hill's sons, Zion Marley. Now, bitch, let me tell you something. Pause. Let me just go on a little rant. Chicago, with all the stuff that's going on, I hope y'all doing putting this tax that you didn't put on the plastic bags that we get when we go to the store, okay? 7 cents for a goddamn bag. Bitch, what type of shit is that? It just reminded me of when Kevin from the Scorpion Show be on his video going off about the tax on the pops and stuff like that, or soda as they call it, sugar tax and shit like that. Fuck that. We need bags to carry our groceries and stuff, and you gonna charge us 77 cents a bag, bitch? 7 cents a goddamn bag, bitch? Okay, you out your goddamn man. I went to Walgreens to go get some stuff, because I do my shopping throughout the week, whatever, since it's so convenient. And she was like, the one price, and then I said, hold on, that don't, what happened? It's supposed, if I put my card number in, it's not supposed to go up, it's supposed to go down. She said, girl, it's 7 cents a bag. I said, ain't this about a bitch? Go ahead, cause and then gonna ask me, do you need a bag? I'm wondering why she asked me that. I'm sitting here like, do you see all this stuff? I'm finna go back over here to work. Where the fuck I'm gonna hold this shit at? Child. But whatever. Chicago, you tried it. You fucking tried it. Anyway, I'm gonna let that slide, okay? Cause it's such a beautiful day outside. The sun is shining. Let it go. Woosah. Moving on, congratulations again, like I was about to say, to Lauryn Hill's sons, Zion Marley. He ain't had a baby. When I found that shit out, first of all, we been found it out like a couple of days ago. Lauryn Hill just posted it on her Instagram. And the comments on the Shade Room, when they reposted that picture, they was like, God damn, even she posts later about her grandchild. I said, y'all need to leave that lady alone. That was hilarious as hell to me. But hold on. I don't like the way this light looking. Okay, well, fuck it, cause it's we'll deal. But anyway, so congratulations to him. He just made me feel real old. Okay, he just made me feel real old because I remember when Miss Education came out, and everybody in their mama. It was this guy that was in my school when I was in high school, and we was doing a talent show. He was singing Zion, and when I tell you, he sang the shit out of that. Zion is probably one of the best songs on there. Zion, Zion, now the joy of my world. Come on now, it's in Zion. That's when Lauryn Hill was all the way together. Then after them babies came, that Marley dick then fucked her up. But anyway, congratulations to him and to them, to the new addition. Also, congratulations to a Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon with his I'm not gonna say girlfriend or one night stand or friend or whatever. Brittany something. She used to be a Wild 'N Out girl on his show. They had their baby, a baby boy named Golden Sagan Cannon. That's cute. Whatever. I mean, I expect Golden to be for a girl, but to each his own. Okay. Just thought it was something, but it's not. It's just my lip. Fucking crazy. But anyway, congratulations. At least he's there. Nick Cannon, pause. So the National Enquirer put out some stuff talking about something he owes $1.7 million in back taxes or some shit like that. And I'm sitting here like, that don't sound right for one. And second, when I found out it was the National Enquirer trying to spit some shit on him, I said, don't even pay this shit no mind. Who pays the National Enquirer? National Enquirer is just like the paper form of media takeout. Not facts, all right? Not fucking facts. So I was just like, pay your dust. But Nick Cannon said, nah, we ain't finna pay this shit dust. I'm finna sue y'all for lying on me and all this shit. Because, be honest, Nick Cannon got money. 1.7 million probably ain't shit to Nick Cannon, okay? Y'all try to play him and call him Mr. Carey and you need to go ask Mariah to get you some money and all that stuff. No. Okay, that's why you ain't hear nothing about the divorce being messy on the money part and the reason why they still together. Like, he had his money. He came into that relationship with money. I don't know what Mariah Carey doing with this little boy, Brian Tanaka. Like, girl, I don't know if I really believe it. Because the way that it played out on Mariah's World, I mean, it just was so fucking fake. Like, I was here for Mariah's World. I watched the whole shit, but I'm like, y'all acting y'all asses. Oh, Mimi better come through, bitch, okay? But, if she want to have her little boy toy on the side, go ahead and do that shit. She said, we do not want to talk about our relationship. We want to keep that private amongst ourselves. That's the best thing you can do, okay? Because motherfuckers like me gonna have some shit to say. We always got shit to say. But get that dick, girl. Go ahead. Rejuvenate yourself. Whew. All right. So moving on from that. Oh yes, let's sing a happy birthday out there to Rihanna. This week was her birthday. Coconuts. Okay, Barbados. Let's stand out. Listen. I love me some Rihanna. Y'all just don't realize, and I go off about Beyonce and certain other people, but I love Rihanna and Beyonce just damn near the same. Okay, I experienced my first Rihanna concert last year towards the end. Well, it was at the end of the summer, so yeah, early fall. It was still warm outside. I ain't had no clothes on. I was ready, bitch. I came there with my sneakers on, my trainers, Rihanna trainers, bitch. You remember when everybody was going to get those? Yes, bitch. My Puma trainers. I had my red ones on. I was ready, bitch. Rihanna came down and she came over us. I saw all that ass. I said, Rihanna got some cakes on her. All right, sing all up on it because she was like damn near there, So I still, missed the memo to come over there and smoke with you, girl. But you'll get back to me. We can do something. I'm free. I free up my calendar. So congratulations to her. Like, I think she got like she done made like 30 top hits or some shit like that on Billboard. Bitch, y'all can say what the fuck y'all want to say about Rihanna. You know, you can say whether or not she can't dance, whether or not she can't sing. That's not really important. The bitch put some good ass music out, you know. And let me just put this out here before I move on. Rihanna, you was fucking robbed, okay? You was robbed, you was plagued, you was snubbed, and all that shit at the Grammys. I'm still not over that shit. Rihanna should have left that Grammys. If you're not gonna give her half of them bitches, you should have gave her at least two, okay? Because a couple of them songs deserve the goddamn Grammys. I'm gonna move on from that because we're not, all right? Moving on from that, we're gonna keep this happy. Um, so congratulations also in order. Speaking of Rihanna, speaking of Rock Nation, speaking of Jay-Z. Okay, I hope y'all didn't get the shining, 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 yeah. A holiday's when make me lose my mind. Hold up, try to slow me down. Come on now, come on now, come on now. Listen, that is such a, oh my god, that is the theme song of this episode because, well, not this episode, this video, because it's just the day. It's just DJ Khaled knew what the fuck he was doing when he released that song. Okay, he knew the spring was coming up. He knew barbecues was about to start happening. He knew family reunions was about to start happening. He said, "Bitch, I'm finna get the summer spring anthem out right now." Okay, and he gave us "Shining" with Beyonce and Jay-Z, and it was cute, and I liked it more so. To be honest, I love the beat. All right, I was like, you know, Khaled can be annoying as fuck, but he can put out some good ass music. He can produce some good ass music. But congratulations is in order to Jay-Z. You know, him and his partner, Rock Nation or whatever, they are about to start a venture capital fund. Now let me tell you something. I've been at a college for a few years now, and I went to business school. Baby, don't ask me. I can't, you know, the capital shit. I'm not in accounting. I'm not in all that money shit, bitch. No. Okay, so just don't make it like the rush card. Don't fuck us over like that, you know. Congratulations is in order because them motherfucking funds. And please, Jay-Z, be on up and up with this shit, okay? Because I think with the capital fund you can invest in stuff and have people invest in you and shit like that. Don't quote me on that shit because I just don't know. But I'm just assuming because I did go to school and I know about some of these head funds and all this stuff. Bitch, don't do no shady shit. That's all I'm gonna say on that one. Don't do no shady shit, okay? Because you will be found out. Stay on the up and up. And also another congratulations is in order to Jay-Z because they are out there trying to cut this tree down, and they've been trying to cut this tree all the way down for the past few days, okay? That's how big the tree is. Limb for fucking limb, and it's getting on my goddamn nerves. But so if you hear something, that's what you hear in the background. Um Jay-Z is also the first rapper inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. That's a congratulations to him. I was on Twitter and I was looking at you know, Call Me Dollar, his tweets and stuff like that, and he retweeted this guy that says, you know, is what's more of a shock is the fact that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis haven't been inducted in there yet. What? Y'all better give us our due, okay? But I'm not gonna take no shine off of Jay-Z. Y'all, that family just fucking doing it, you know. Somebody in my comments always commenting talking about some. You need to admit the truth that you related to them. Don't put them ideas in my head like that because I sure enough will be like, bitch, we need to do an ancestry. Can we do it then? Cause Mama Tina, like we Capricorns and we, you know, everybody's all in the family, eyebrows and all that stuff. We could be a cousin on the twice renewed, then regained, and cousin of the cousin of the cousin of the cousin. You just don't know. But don't put no shit like that in my head like that. No, don't do nothing. Don't do that. You know, stop it. Stop it. Don't do that. No. Anyway, let me stop fucking with y'all. Um, Jay-Z, ain't nobody asked you to tweet nothing. Anyway, child, I'm still pissed off about being Mary Jane when they said Beyonce. Niecy was like, "Oh my God, Auntie, Beyonce retweeted me. She liked my tweet and retweeted it." I said, "Girl, Beyonce don't even tweet. Beyonce hasn't tweeted or liked a real tweet in years, okay? Child, if it ain't dealing with her project, she'll only put one link out there for her project and that's it. And go away, okay? You could have said, let me tell you something, the people at Being Mary Jane, you could have said at least Solange, okay? Solange, that would have been more believable. Just saying. moving on from that, Mike Epps is wanted, or they said he was wanted. I don't know if they got it cleared up because he was on Instagram. Um, post they had a video of him dancing with some people, whatever. They said he got arrested because he attacked a tourist. I don't know how the story sounds fishy. Like it's missing some details in the middle for me because they said that the tourist was like, "Oh my God, it's Mike Epps. How you doing?" And then all of a sudden he got attacked. What exactly happened in the middle of that? Something is fishy about that. They said he missed the arraignment or whatever, so they was looking for his ass. But I'm pretty sure they gonna get that shit cleared up. It ain't nothing fucking serious. Somebody lying somewhere, okay, and not giving us all the details. Moving on from that, Sean Kingston supposedly got jumped by the Migos, okay, out there in Vegas. Now, I seen the video of them and they was all dabbing it up and all that shit. And y'all remember when Sean Kingston always inserting himself. Somehow his ass get involved in all these damn beefs. He's like the Azalea Banks male version, okay, because we don't ever hear anything about him. When we hear about him, it's about him being part of a beef or either getting a car repossessed or, getting sued for owing money on some jewelry and stuff like that and, shit like that. Never no music. How is he still relevant? Never know me. Like, all these rappers know his ass, but never know fucking music. I just don't fucking get it. But okay, And they was all, hugging. He was hugging on them, like really hugging on them, like, bruh, how you doing? And then next thing you know, they was like, they got into a fight. They went out to the parking lot and jumped his ass, stumped his ass out. And then they said that Sean Kingston's like, manager, whoever the fuck it was out there, pulled out a gun, let off a shot or whatever. And then he later had got pulled over by a cop and arrested at one point. But, of course, Sean Kingston gonna say that it didn't happen. I don't know if the fight or the beat down happened because he did get on the Instagram posting or Snapchat or whatever, posting that he didn't get into a fight. He was fine. He wasn't lumped up, which he did look normal. Okay, but let me tell you something. TMZ showing up put up there that you got arrested right after that shit. I seen that video, so somebody's lying also in this shit too. But here's my thing, Sean Kingston. No one looks at you as a gangster. No one look at you as a bad boy or anything like that. So what I'm going to need you to do when you get on these TV shows, not the TV shows, when you get on your Instagram and your Snapchat and you trying to prove a point or whatever, quit speaking patois, okay? Quit speaking patois, all right? When you put that accent on and you speak in that language and you're native, were you actually born in Jamaica or are you just doing that? I know you're Jamaican. I know his history. He got people out there. But I hate when you do that because you do that to make yourself sound as if you this big bad man, and you're not. Ain't nobody, you Pillsbury Doughboy ass, ain't nobody scared of you, bitch. I mean, come on. And then you go right back into the English accent, or I will say Americanized English accent. Regular accent that you born with. Stop that shit. Stop that shit. If I was Jamaican or the island heritage, I'd be offended. Okay, because you're doing too fucking much. But anyway, somebody get Sean Kingston and tell him to get his life together. I mean, his mama even said that he got his ass jumped. And they always involving his mom. Have y'all ever noticed that? Like, oh, y'all dumb. But what else is going on that I want to talk about before I get to Candace Wiggins? Hold on, y'all. I'm parched. Okay, that's water. Like, it's pure water. It's nothing else. I was just using the bottle as a water bottle. But anyway, because I know somebody's probably going to say something. Anyway, so Candace Wiggins, if you know her, I never knew her. Like, let me tell you something. She's a former WNBA player. I think she retired from the game, like, in March last year. She was in the league, I guess, for 8 years. And she came out and said that 98% of the WNBA are lesbians. Okay? The players are lesbians. I'm only laughing because she just played right into a stereotype that, most of the WNBA are gay. People say that. And to say something like that, I think her percentage is way off. I don't think it's that much, but I believe that some of them do dibble and dabble, and I really don't give a shit, so who cares? But she claims that she was bullied for being straight. Girl, what? You was bullied for being straight. Listen, come the fuck on. I don't believe that bullshit not one time. I just feel like she probably secretly and not realized that she has a problem with gay folks, or, you know, just a little bit uncomfortable. It was a little bit out her element, so she felt the type of way. And I hope she's not one of those people that just because you see a gay person or a gay female or whatever and they come by you and they just say hello, you think they trying to hit on you and they just literally just saying hello. No, girl, come on. Calm the fuck down with that bullshit. She was bullied because she's straight. Now, with all the bullshit that we got going on in our own community, and it's the fucked up that we got to call it the LGBT community and be separate from everybody else, because that's the only way we get respect, and we got bullshit within our own community that goes on. So you mean tell me with all that shit we gonna bully somebody for being gay? Girl, please. Any fucking way. Let me tell you something. The WNBA, I didn't even know who this bitch was. I'm sorry. And the fact of the matter is, back in the day, like in the 90s, when I was growing up, the WNBA used to be the shit, okay? You compare it from back then to now, it's a total different contrast, all right? The WNBA used to be up there with the NBA. When the championships come on and stuff like that, when the Sparks play, when all these people used to play, you had Rebecca Lobo, you had Lisa Leslie, I was about to say Lesby, and all these other people. Child, we used to always sit around and watch it just like we watched the NBA, okay? And the stadiums be filled, the stands be filled, especially when it came for championship. Um, these days, it's not the same. It's really not the same. If you look at a WNBA basketball game, and if they actually were to put it on TV, you can look out into the stand and there's barely nobody in the audience. And I think it's pretty fucked up. And I think they need to go back to the formula that they had back in the 90s when they had the promotion and they did all this shit, because it was everywhere. Nowadays it's like they don't give a shit about the WNBA, and them women that's on the WNBA, they don't make as nearly the same as they don't make as the much as the men. Okay, they literally make. I remember seeing this up in school. We was talking about this shit. Like they make between $40,000 and $80,000, 35 to $80,000 a year. That's a regular fucking job for some people. Are you serious? Are you serious? And then you get the popular ones that's probably popping today, like a Brittany Garner and all that stuff, and they make their money mostly from sponsorships. That's how they survive. Like, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate they get the second hand of the shit of the stick, but the short end of the stick. But that's how it is. A lot of people don't like to see, I guess, women doing things that's considered to be manly sports or whatever. That's why we can't have a female football league. We have to have a lingerie football league for the females. Like it's so sexist and everything. But girl, ain't nobody believing that bullshit. Talking about they was bullying your ass. Girl, get the hell up out of here. Anyway, moving on from that. So let's get into some Chris Brown shit. The first thing first, Soldier Boy and Chris Brown, the fight in Dubai, that's never gonna happen, and we already knew that shit was gonna happen. Somebody go check on Kelly Price and see, did she get her retainer fee back? Okay, did she have to refund? Did she sign a contract or whatever herself? Because girl, when this whole shit went down, she posted that shit on her Instagram, smiling like this. I'm so happy that I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be singing the national anthem at this fight. I said, girl, what? You better be saying April Fools or some shit coming up, because, girl, what? You really thought? I hope she was playing, because, excuse me, like, who actually thought that this fight was gonna happen? All right, Soldier Boy gets on some of these people just need to have their phones and all video recording devices taken away from them because they should not be allowed to post because they're just out there. But Soulja Boy gets up there and he says, he signed his contract, but Chris Brown didn't. He bitched out and all that shit. And it was like, you so quick to want to fight a bitch, but you won't fight a man. I said, because to be honest, let me stop. We ain't there yet. We ain't there yet, and I'm not finna go there right now. But he put up like 3, 4 videos about this, and I'm sitting here like, damn, Soldier, we get it. The fight is off. It's not about to happen. Okay, you want a cookie that you was right and all that shit? Chris Brown fucking tried it, though. He tried it yesterday when he put up a video. He glossed over all the Karrueche bullshit. He literally said, anything in the news or whatever, don't even pay no attention to that shit. And then he was like, so this fight, yeah, I ain't want to do this fight because I got other shit to do. You got people, middlemen all up in the middle just putting their hands in, fucking shit up and doing all this extra stuff. Stuff just really wasn't right. And plus it's immature as fuck and all that stuff. And when that word immature came out, I said, to be quite honest, you started this immature ass shit. Okay, you getting pissed off that Soulja Boy liked the picture of Karrueche, a bitch that ain't yours. Nigga, don't ever let immature come out your mouth because you are the definition of immature, to be quite honest. And let me preface this, okay? We all knew that fight wasn't gonna happen. Fine, because March is next month. Actually, March is next week, okay? Damn, it's Black History Month and all this shit happened. At least we had some good shit happen, with Jay-Z. Oh, yeah, Get Your Dinner album, Chief, okay? That shit is so good. I said, come on, Nigeria. I'm part Nigerian, too. Ancestry.com. All right. That's my fellow man. That's my fellow. Jadena is fine to me, and I'm not really attracted to light-skinned people like that. But, I think they cute, but I don't never think they like fine, like, ooh, fine, blow my mind and all that shit. I don't never get the hype about light-skinned people. I'm light-skinned too. I don't get the hype either. And y'all already know, I will fall out of a dark-skinned person. I don't care if you're a man or a female. And let me clear this up, because somebody tried to come at me and was like, bitch, maybe you bisexual. Because I put this picture up of the boy that's in Moonlight, and he also played, if you looked at Tyler Perry's If Loving You Is Wrong, he played Ramsey on there. That's why I first seen him at. And I thought he was fine in. And y'all know Baby Zaddy is Ralph Angel, okay? And he know how he love his black women too. I just love dark chocolate people, okay? And their chocolateness is very appealing to my soul, all right? So let me just clear this shit up. That does not mean a bitch is bisexual. I am physically, meaning I love their skin tone and all that attractive, and I can call a man, say he cute, he sexy or whatever. That don't mean I want to fuck him. I really don't, okay? I'm strictly clickly, okay? Nothing sexual want to go on down there. I just like looking at them because they are fine specimens. And Lord knows they're fine. Y'all had y'all moments too, bitches. Let's stop playing. Anyway, oh. Because I got to. Let me stop. Oh, I'm going to keep that inside. Y'all don't need to hear that. Anyway, moving on. So, let's get down to the meat and grit of this goddamn video. What we want to talk about. Y'all notice how I say the big topics for last. Because I want y'all to watch the goddamn video, bitch. Okay? Anyway, let me moisten. When I do that, y'all know I got some shit to say, bitch. Okay, so Chris Brown. Let me preference this because, people love to say, oh, you hating. Oh, you just doing that because you don't like a person and you this and you that. No. Once again, I say this in all my videos when I'm talking about certain celebrities and, and their controversies or whatever. You can like a person, but you don't have to be here for the fuck shit that they do. Okay? You can be a fan or a stand of a person, but you a real fan and a real stand will call them out on their bullshit. Okay? A real fan or stand will be comfortable enough and don't give a shit what other fans or stands say. And don't have to follow the bandwagon and just like this person and be okay with what they're saying because They fear what other people might say about them. Oh, you're not real and all that shit. No, being real is telling your person, your fave, or anybody that's in your life, the real deal. That's what it is, okay? You're fake as fuck if you go along and be yes men, yes people, yes fans, yes stands, okay? That's not real. That's not even helping you, and that's definitely not helping them, because if they exhibiting a certain amount of behavior that is fucked up and damaging to themselves and to other, and you over here saying, oh, it's okay, these people just hating or whatever, they're gonna keep on doing the same thing. They're gonna keep on doing the same thing. Okay, that's just the bottom line, and that's why this motherfucker's still doing the same thing. Let me tell you something. Y'all know I love me some mix. I like Chris Brown. Chris Brown, he's just that troubled cousin that's beating the family that you like. You can't necessarily just snip him off like this, because it'll hurt you too much to snip him off. Because you know that if you snip him off, this bitch gonna go out and go do something so fucked up that it ain't gonna be no coming back from it. Okay? That's what Chris Brown is, alright? So you just keep them at a distance. You don't completely, they ask you for some quarters and stuff. You say, nah, Brian, got it, even though you got a pocket full of them. You don't give it to them. You lie to them like that. And you just keep them to a distance. They text you or whatever. Hey, how you doing, son? And you just give them a one-word response. You just keep them to the distance. That's Chris Brown in my relationship right now, okay? He's like family, all right? And sometimes you just got to go in on family, all right? Let me tell you something, because I do this shit with my own people. You're fucked up, okay? Chris Brown is a troubled young man. Child. Boy. They are irritating me so much because y'all know I was about to get into it. But no, you're troubled, okay? And you've been troubled probably longer than we knew, okay? And this is what happened when you have child stars that come out and they want to put them in a certain type of image, the good boy image, the good girl image, and then all of a sudden when they get older, they be like, oh my God, she's smoking, he doing this, he got all these baby mamas, and he this, that. Well, he trying to be a bad boy. She trying to be a bad girl. Well, to be quite honest, the person that they showing you now is probably the person that they always been. Just because they on this label and all this stuff when they was younger, they had to mask that because they wanted to put out, or the label or the adults around them wanted them to put out a certain image to sell certain stuff. That's what happened with child stars, okay? Chris Brown is a case of that. You have this man who grows up in the industry with the spotlight on him, had a good 2.5 years of nothing but good shit being said about him. Then in 2009, you had this incident with Rihanna that will forever change his career, okay? And you had people turn their backs on this man, on this child, because he was a young child. I mean, he was a teenager, but he was still young. He was still young. He also witnessed and went through a cycle of witnessing his mom being abused and things of that such. So he could have picked up that behavior. He know it's probably wrong, but hey, he don't know how to deal with his anger. He don't know how to deal with his emotion, so he lashes out. We've seen that, okay? This happens, and the story with Chris Brown is no different from a lot of other people. That the only thing that's different is he got money and popularity. That's it. That's it, okay? But people treat him differently because he has money, he has fame and popularity. That's the only difference right then and there, okay? You was crucified for a minute, and in the process of you trying to get back on good footing with everybody, you had your little outbreaks and stuff like that, your outbursts or whatever. When you was in Morning America, whatever, you threw the chair through the window because Robin Roberts was asking you questions you didn't want to answer, okay, about the incident. Nobody was letting you perform. Your albums weren't doing as good. They did some good, but they didn't do as good as they could have did had this not happened. Okay? And then all of a sudden, here comes the BET Awards. They let you get up there and sing, and you cried and all that stuff. Did your tribute to Michael. And we was like, okay, let's give this boy a chance. Come on. Everybody makes mistakes. He was young. Maybe he can change. Some of America did that. And I'm not going to say all, because he is a target. And you want to know why he is a target? Because he makes himself a target. I don't care what nobody say. We have to be 100% real and honest with ourselves on this subject. Okay? I've seen so much stuff going around in the past couple of days about this whole incident, and you have the fans in the stands that are literally sitting here defending his actions and going and attacking Karrueche for taking legal actions against him and for this alleged report coming out saying that he physically abused her at one point. We'll get on that in a second because it's unfortunate. You know that a person is doing wrong. You see what they are doing, and yet you defend it and try to blame the victim. Karrueche is a victim, okay? She's a victim in this whole thing. Whether she allowed herself to be one or she was made into one. She is the victim in this whole thing, okay? So, Chris Brown, yes, the media do come after him. Yes, people try him. I will never forget, and we all will never forget when the police all came and barricaded and had the SWAT team in his house at the end of last year. That was fucked up. That's one of the one and only things that I can clearly say and truly say the police did that shit on purpose. Excuse me. They was trying to embarrass him. They was trying to humiliate him. Okay? They put a target on his back. But, they fucked up. Okay, I wasn't here for that. I was 100% on Chris Brown's side. That white girl tried to set his ass up, okay, and it didn't fucking work, bitch. Cause who we still talking about? Chris Brown, bitch. We don't know the white bitch name no more, okay. No offense to my Caucasian viewers, okay. I'm just saying that out of anger because she fucked shit up. All right, she tried it. Okay, y'all know what it is. Moving on from that, this man gets into beefs with people over the smallest stuff. You literally got into a beef with Soulja Boy because he liked a picture of your ex who has moved on and who has not been with you in 2 years. And you're still holding on. But then when she replies back to the stuff, because it is involving her, whether or not you want to mention her name personally or whatever, the whole thing was involving her. You get so fucking disrespectful and call her all type of fucking names in the book. Mind you, you were just liking and commenting sweet nothings on her page. But it's okay. Let's blame the victim. Let's blame Karrueche for all this bullshit. She shouldn't have opened up her mouth. She should have just let them do it. Okay. That's how you want to feel. Let's not forget that one of them gonna die out there. I'm sorry. They making me nervous, okay? But anyway, what I was saying, get lost made me lose my train of thought. Moving on. So we've seen the erratic behavior. You went to jail one time. Like, you've been on probation, okay? You went to jail for almost, a year. Not that much. But so for people saying, oh, they always locking him up. He ain't been locked up that many goddamn times, bitch. Stop playing. Okay. Oh, they always know. You have got to hold Chris Brown accountable for his own goddamn actions, his own behavior. If he wouldn't do some of the stuff that he does, he wouldn't be a target as much as he had been, okay? He wouldn't be talked about as much as he had been. Has he been a model citizen ever since he got through with this Rihanna incident? Has he been a model citizen ever since he got out of this jail or whatever? Has he been a model citizen ever since he got off of probation? No, he has not. You had your battle with drug use, and you can deny that shit all you want to. The motherfucker is still on some shit. I don't give a fuck. Sunken cheeks and all, okay? Listen, you didn't had all that. And then you had a baby on this while you was with this girl, okay? This girl took you back time after time after time. And most likely because she was scared of what the fuck you might do to her. Until you had this baby and she said, fuck it, enough is enough. Alright? That's what went on with that shit. But let's get into what happened. Karrueche filed a restraining order against Chris Brown, saying that he has been texting her, and I've seen the police report. Now, bitch, let me pause on that one, because I got some shit to say. Karrueche. It's English as a second language. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. That's not nice. But I'm confused. Why is your handwriting looking like chicken scratch? Okay, that girl handwriting. If that's really her handwriting, girl, that shit is atrocious. All right, pause. I was looking at this like, did a 3-year-old write this shit? But anyway, we gonna move on. From that. She put out this restraining order against Chris Brown, saying that he has been threatening her. He has been calling her. He has been texting her. She has text messages from since last year, since the end of last year up until today, or not today, but this month or whatever, that he has been texting, threatening to bring people over there to take her out, to do harm to her friends, all this stuff, and saying some basically, if I can't have you, nobody else can. And those words were in the police report. And, that was one part. I can totally believe that that shit was happening, okay? Your behavior is what we see. And from the shit that you're going on and what's been going on with him and the way that he's been acting, he's already came out and said that he's bipolar. My thing is, are you a manic bipolar? Do you take your medicine? And are you on medication for one? Because if you were, I just don't feel like he would have these outbreaks or whatever, these outbursts and doing all this stuff. But yes, people want to be like, I've seen, well, if he did all this, how he gonna have time to stalk her if he going on tour and he be always, yes, Chris Brown is always on tour. Chris Brown knows where his money at these days, okay? Because it ain't selling records, all right? I don't know when the last time Chris Brown had a platinum selling record, okay? Chris Brown will be on tour for 4 months and then come home for 2 days and go back on a different tour for another 4 months and come home and do it all over again, okay? Yes, he does that shit. But there are many, many different ways to stalk a bitch, okay? You can text him all the time, call him all the time. Ain't no telling if he got his own people going up there. Come on, remember when Karrueche was doing something and somebody had put a post about Karrueche or whatever. He said something about it and then his friend kid got into it or whatever. That redhead dude, like they was all on his side even though Chris Brown was fucking wrong. I'm sitting here like they all in cahoots with this bullshit. Like they scared to not go against this motherfucker because they don't want their money to dry up. Like this is how fucking backwards Chris Brown is and how troubled he is. Who grows up in Virginia, makes it big in the music industry, moves to fucking LA and join the Bloods? Exactly. Exactly. Okay? Ponder that thought for a second. Then you doing all this stuff. Oh, how he gonna do all this? Bitch, come on. Use common fucking sense. Step outside of your standship and see the shit for what it is, okay? Y'all not that dumb. I can be dumb sometimes, but bitch, I ain't that damn dumb, okay? I can have my little fuzzy moments, but bitch, I ain't that stupid, okay? I know how shit fucking works. Especially when you seen shit like this before, close hand, you know the patterns, you see the bullshit. And that's the thing about stalkers, that's the thing about abusers. They're manipulative, okay? And they come in all types of form. You can be verbally abusive, emotionally abusive, physically abusive, okay? It comes in all type of fucking forms, okay? Psychologically abusive, it don't just have to involve a fucking fist. Oh yeah, then all of a sudden allegedly a report came out in that process of getting this restraining order saying that a few years early on into the relationship, that supposedly Chris Brown punched her twice in the stomach and at one point kicked her down the steps, threw her down some stairs. At this point, this is the defense or the attack Karrueche part on that, if that deed is true or was said. How can she lying, why she stayed with him all this time and all this shit, and why she just not putting that out there? Okay, if he did that, why you stay? You the one that made yourself stay. Who stayed with somebody if they did some shit like that? Please ask your mama or your family member or your friend, whoever who's been in an abusive relationship, and ask them why the fuck they stayed as long as they did. Why they called the cops and didn't file the charges. Why they called the cops, filed the charges, went through all that shit, and still went back to the motherfucker. You ask them that, okay? At that time they said that this shit was happening when he just got out. He got on probation with Rihanna. Okay, yeah, he was trying to protect that motherfucker. All right, that's what it is. And it's like the Stockholm syndrome. You protect. You feel this ability, this will or this right or something that you have to protect your abuser or your attacker or whoever the fuck it is that did something to you. You have to protect them. You feel some type of fucking loyalty to them. Okay, that's what it is. That's what the fuck it is. Now, had she called the cops or at least filed those charges, that motherfucker would have been in jail because he was still on probation. And that's exactly why he went to fucking jail, because he violated his probation. Okay? He would have been there longer. Okay? So she was protecting his ass. Not to put in the fact that she probably was scared of his ass at that moment. And when you do this shit, sometimes these patterns of abuse, and I'm not saying that this shit happened, this is alleged, and I'm giving you a scenario and an explanation for it just in case if it did happen so you can understand, so you can quit victim blaming and being like, oh, well, this bitch lying, why you stagging all this shit you got on E Island, you were saying that he never did this and he never did that. Bitch, do you really think at that moment the bitch was scared to give the fucking interview? Okay, her managers and stuff had to come in there and tell her to cut the shit off. Do you really think that she was gonna fucking get up there and say, yeah, that motherfucker put his hands on me? He was still in the midst of his goddamn probation, okay? He was still in the midst of his shit. The media, she was trying to be a loyal girlfriend when the fact that you still had people in the media, you still had fans or ex-fans and people that were still coming at him. So, of course, she's going to try to take up for him and soften it. She wasn't telling the 100% truth about a whole bunch of shit up in that goddamn video, okay? So, shut up about that. Use your fucking common sense, goddamn. Like, fuck, okay? And I ain't even trying to be rude when I bring up the fact of ask your mama, ask your sister, or whoever else you know that's been in an abusive relationship. But I've seen that shit. I've seen that shit when people get into relationships, they scared to get out, okay? Or they feel as though ain't nobody else gonna love me the way that I love you, or whatever. She probably didn't want that scrutiny. Like, bitch, why would she lie? That's what I want to know. Why? What was the reason that she would have to lie? She could have put this shit out and fucked Chris up so bad in the beginning, during the time that he was still, trying to get back on top. She was in love with this man. Love will make you do crazy fucking things. So coming out right now, years later, why would she lie? That's just the same logic that y'all using when y'all say, oh, a person been raped and they come out and they say, oh, it happened a while ago. Well, why didn't you come out then? Why didn't you come out? And that's why people don't like fucking saying nothing, because y'all always like to flip it on the so-called victim or the victim. Okay? That's what y'all like to do. All right? And then it'd be the same ones who are actually going through the same thing and you're judging this person. And then you got the ones that literally will be like, fuck it, if you don't want him, I'll take him. Hell, he could beat my ass all he want to because he Chris Brown and he got money. That says a lot about you. That says a lot about you and how low you think of yourself. I'm just going to put that shit out there. If you're willing to defend, oh, I need to see some evidence. You had this singer that lived out there by them. She said, bitch, I heard the shit. I called the cops and all that stuff. The cops was called over there, but given that he's of this celebrity status, they're not gonna do nothing. You can pay fuckers off, okay? They can turn a blind eye. She said all you gotta do is call up the North Hollywood police station. That's where all the stuff was coming up. I've seen her crying because of this motherfucker. Let's not fucking forget that this motherfucker put out a video saying that he is a stalker. Okay? He said, I'm the type of person that's gonna fuck your relationship up with whoever you have with. Okay? You're gonna always be mine. If I can't have you, ain't nobody else gonna have you. Okay? Alright? Let's not forget when she finally broke up with him. She was hosting this fucking party at this club. He popped up. TMZ got that shit on tape. Him literally following her like he was about to do some shit. Okay, she's trying not to acknowledge him. All right, he's all up in her personal space, in her face and all that shit. And then forced his way into their car. Told her friends to move the fuck out the way so he can get in and sit down comfortably. But oh, I need some more evidence and all this shit. Okay, well, why if all this stuff was happening? But bitch, you stayed. You stayed. I mean, you knew what it was. You was taking a fucking risk. Okay, y'all do the same damn thing. You do the same damn thing. It's the pattern of abuse. It's typical abuse, okay? And I ain't saying that he actually hit that bitch. I'm just saying if it happened, that's why. That's why she stayed. That's why she took so long to say something, okay? That's why, okay? Like, come on, y'all can't be so into these fucking entertainers that you can't see that they're flesh and blood human beings just like you. If you prick them, poke them, they can bruise, they can probably bleed and all that shit. Just like you. So just because they got money, just because they got fame, just because of this, and you so in love with them, they will never do anything with you, bitch. They probably see you and you fine or whatever, they'll probably fuck you and then throw you to the trash. Okay? They still humans and they still got flaws and they can still do fucked up shit. It's a whole bunch of people that's up in this industry and these industries that are portraying one face to the public to keep up this image, to keep their money flow in, but behind closed doors are totally different people. Okay, that's why you got motherfuckers coming out and being outed as child molesters. That's why you got people coming out being outed as domestic abusers. Okay, being rapists and all this stuff in a whole bunch of these fields in the industry, entertainment, sports, all that. Okay, so like you have to open up your mind. And I'm not staying here like, oh, don't support Chris or whatever. You know, you do what you do, okay? Because he is going on tour, and I've seen people still saying they're going on tour. I mean, they're gonna support him. Somebody I know personally, you know, I don't understand it, but you know, they don't give a damn about what was happening. It just baffled me. It just made me look sad eye like, fuck, okay. But you know, it is what it is. You can support whoever you want to support. People still support R. Kelly. I don't hate R. Kelly. I would never buy none of his stuff, but I listen to it on YouTube or whatever the fuck. You know, so hey, it is what it is. I won't put no money in that man's pocket, but hey, it is what it is. You know, so yeah, like the Chris Brown shit, I just want these fans to just open up their minds and stop being so fucking dumb. Okay? And I literally had a fan go back and forth with me, talk about some, but you know, I'm a stand and I need this and why this and all this shit. The behavior is there. The actions is there. His words are there. And I'm not even trying to say that he actually, you know, hit the bitch, because I don't know. I wasn't there, you know. People like, I want to see the bruises. Really? I can use some people don't bruise easily, okay? And depending on how hard he punched her in the stomach, probably ain't no bruise, you know? But, you know, could have been some bruises when she fell down the stairs if that happened. But I'm just putting this out there like, what y'all need to do, stop taking up for him. Make this man be held accountable for his actions. And I mean, be accountable when they happen, so that they won't continue to happen. Not be accountable once he get reprimanded by the law or he got to go to jail or whatever the fuck. And then all of a sudden I want to get in front of the cops and in front of the judge and be like, I'm sorry and all this shit. No. Okay. Hold this man fucking accountable for his action. This motherfucker is not above doing some fucked up shit. We seen him do fucked up shit. Okay. We seen the disrespect that he gives to certain women. Okay. We seen that shit. He has a problem with women. All right? He really does. Okay? And people be like, oh, he gonna change because he got a child. It's a lot of people that's be out here having babies and still ain't shit niggas. Bitches too. You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with it. Not one thing to do with it. Okay? It just baffles me to see people just, you know, so quick to be accusing and coming at this girl just because she's speaking her truth. You were not there to debunk it. You were not there to say whether or not it happened or not. Like, you don't, and my only thing is put yourself in that position. You won't want nobody, if you came out and said some shit, you won't want nobody to, you know, say that you lying and believe and don't believe you and, oh, why you waited so late. Okay, you wouldn't want nobody to do no shit like that, so why do it to others? It don't make no sense. Listen to it and let the shit play out. And if you still in the midst of it, don't say shit about it then. Move on with your day. It's going to be the last time I talk about it. You know, the judge told him to stay 100 yards away from her ass. Go the fuck on tour. Let that shit go, Chris. And the people around him, they not helping him. They hindering him. Because they all yes men. Alright? His own mama said that shit. Okay? So get that shit together, Chris. You just need to get your life together. I told y'all he needs to go away. He needs to go away to an island that's secluded that he can just let his thoughts go and clear his motherfucking mind. Sit down and talk to somebody, okay? Because obviously you got a lot of pent up shit that's going on. You know, I'm not no psychologist, but we can all see what it is, okay? I'm not giving a diagnosis, but goddamn, common fucking sense. But anyway, because this shit is getting on my nerves, y'all have a good fucking weekend. Okay, if you don't look at any of my other videos that's coming up this week. But bitch, How to Get Away with Murder is 2 hours tomorrow. Goddamn. Who the fuck y'all think killed Wes? On that note, I will see you guys later. Please, please be safe, okay? And enjoy this beautiful ass weather. And again, I apologize for the shit. I really do. I'll see y'all later.